Hey, so as you build your network marketing business, do you have a nagging feeling that something is wrong, something is not right, and what you are doing maybe doesn't really agree with your mindset, with who you are? So the question is, can you succeed if that's the case? So I'll be talking about it in this video. If we haven't met, my name is Edita. I'm from VIE now. I'm a network marketer like you, and I love network marketing, but I hate prospecting. Prospecting doesn't agree with my core values, and I'll tell you why in a second. So obviously, I didn't like chasing people, chasing strangers, asking people to look at my stuff without knowing how to do it properly. So I was struggling until I found a way how to get my ideal prospects to come to me instead, and that's when everything changed for me internally and externally. And if you would like to learn the 3-step formula to recruit people into your downline without having to do all the awkward stuff and also get results, you can grab it at visnow.com/3steps. I believe the link is in the description of this video. And yes, so I want to talk about your core values, about how you feel, about what you do every day to build your business, and how are you getting on. Let me know in the comments, how are you getting on? How do you feel about everything? How do you feel about the industry? How do you feel about yourself? Because this is very important to understand, and as part of every business. And traditionally, we are not taught these things, but we do need to understand our core values, because our core values are the driver of our life, of how we behave, of how we act, of what we say, how we say things, and obviously of how we execute our daily activities within our business. And when I say core values, it's funny because I'm still working on my own core values. I have a good clue. I know a few of them, but I'm still working on understanding my core values. Just because we feel something doesn't mean that we can name it sometimes. So maybe sometimes we need some help with that. And recently I was reading a book written actually by a friend of mine. It's called Fried Chicken is Awesome. And it was a surprise for me. He was a colleague of mine in one of the corporate jobs. We were sitting next to each other. I had no clue what his life was about, and suddenly he had wrote a book. But anyway, so he suggested, Brad Allen, he suggested that if you want to understand your core values, you kind of have to observe yourself for a while to see how you feel about various things that happen around you. How do you feel about something that happens, that others do? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about something that you said or did? And if you try to understand why you feel the way you feel, it could be a good suggestion for you in terms of your core values. And here is where we start talking about prospecting. When I first started in my opportunity, or the 3 opportunities before this one, I just couldn't prospect. I did try, I did my best, but I couldn't do it for a long time. I couldn't do all the different things that I was asked. Yes, I was told that this is part of the game, chasing people, prospecting, cold market, and I don't know, distributing leaflets and whatever, a lot of different stuff. And this is part of the game, and I actually believed it. And when I didn't succeed, I thought there was something wrong with me, and that network marketing wasn't for me. It was a tough thing to kind of conclude, because I did want to succeed. I did want to get out of the job. I didn't, not to mention that one of the opportunities I got involved in when I had lost my job during the previous crisis. So I needed money. And but it's just it wasn't working. Every time I was telling myself, I this time around I really need to make it work. Every time it just wasn't working. It just didn't feel right. But I didn't even understand it properly. I didn't name it for myself. I thought, okay, that's just not for me. That's it. And only when I learned a different way to build this business, I learned how to get people to come to me. I learned how to stop chasing people. I learned how to stop cold messaging people. I learned that there is a way to build this business without having to do all those things. And then I understood that prospecting techniques just didn't, my mind, my thoughts, my body, if you will, didn't agree with those prospecting techniques, with chasing people. It wasn't me, it wasn't for me, but not because there was something wrong with me, but because I had my core values, I had my feelings and everything, and what I was asked to do just didn't agree with those core values. And so one of those core values for me is integrity, and prospecting and chasing people, and even prospecting. Nobody taught me how to do it properly. Sometimes it's okay to do it if you know how to do it properly without being pushy, but nobody really teaches that, so it just wasn't for me because of the techniques that we were told to do. And even now, I find it difficult to do prospecting, even if I know much better how to talk to people, what to say, how to close, how to do. I can't do these things now, but still, reaching out, it's not for me. For me, I feel like I help people much better when people ask me for my help, instead of me, going to people and asking them, do you need help? Do you need help? Do you need help? For me, my approach is I make myself available, I make it clear. They know it. And when they need help, they come to me. And then I know that I can actually help these people because they qualified as my ideal prospects. So change the game. So the question is, if something you are doing every day, in and out, doesn't feel right, does it actually mean that those things go against who you are and against your core values? And if so, can you actually succeed? Can you actually succeed? Because what happens is that our core values work as commitment to ourselves to live the life the way we feel is right. And if we happen to do something that doesn't agree with that commitment and it gets broken, the whole thing sooner or later gets broken. That's my belief. Okay, that's what I believe personally, that if I do something, even if I tell myself I want to succeed this time, I'm gonna make it this time, but if day in, day out, I do something that doesn't agree with my internal core values, I'm breaking the commitment to myself. And which is why it means I'm not gonna succeed, because I'm gonna wear out. Eventually, it's just gonna interfere with my with how I feel, and I'm just gonna, like it happened a few times before, Eventually I procrastinate, I resist, I avoid contacting people, and so on and so on. And there was no way I could have succeeded with the old way of building network marketing business. So if you are experiencing something similar, you need to really understand, you need to try to kind of do this analysis for yourself, be very open with yourself. Does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, why does it not feel right? And can I succeed? And importantly, can I teach it to others? Very important questions, because you know that in network marketing, duplication is very important. But even if you manage to recruit somebody, but it doesn't agree what you have to teach to others, if it doesn't agree with who you are, can you teach it to others? You know what? I thought when I first started, I thought, okay, maybe these people will join, but how am I gonna tell them go and chase, go and do 3-foot rule, go and ask these strangers, go and ask these mom and baby groups, you know, if they would like to look at your stuff, if I hate doing it myself. So I was trying to recruit, but then I was thinking as well, how am I gonna tell these people? One of my best friends joined, and I said, and I never asked her to build a business, because I just couldn't ask her to do the stuff that I hated doing. So if what you're doing doesn't agree with your core values, ask yourself, can you actually succeed? And then if your conclusion is no, you just need to know that there is a different way. And the funny thing about this different way is when you apply simple marketing principles, it really doesn't depend on your personality, and it's very agreeable with the best core values you can think of, really. So I hope you got value out of this video, and thanks very much for watching, and do share your thoughts about this topic. It would be very interesting for me to know what you're thinking and how you feel about building, you know, your business the way you are building. Does it hurt you, you know? I don't know. I mean, it's probably the right word, you know. So anyway, and if you would like to see, you know, the overall process, how to recruit people without having to prospect, in case you hate it, you know, there's a link in the description of this video, viesnow.com/3 steps. Grab that video, and happy Friday, happy weekend, enjoy your weekend, have some peaceful time, and thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.